Hi there, gatherers. We are in Granby, Connecticut. Surrounded by hundreds of amazing gatherers in a field as part of the Sunset Concert Series for number 499. Well, I want to be everyone's solution. I want a solution to myself. I want to engage in absolution. I want to absolve with someone else. Don't know if I taste it in my bloodstream or I am bleeding from the tongue. I will not have time to sort these answers when these answers never come. Live to shine, shine like sun, sunny day. Day is done, done for now. Now is the time for another day and another sunshine. Ha, ha. Hey, 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 hey. Well, I want to fight hard against repression. I want to repress the urge to fall. I want to walk softly with discretion. I want to discreetly kick the walls. Don't know if our souls are like the ocean, shedding back colors from the sun. Maybe the sun will hold these answers when these answers never come. Live to shine, shine like sun, sunny day. Day is done for now. Now is the time for another day. Another sunshine. Ha. Hey, 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 hey. Maybe the absences will come marching, staggered formation down the hall. Maybe your asking is the cancer, destined to slowly kill us all. And maybe we don't receive salvation, shuffling our patterns in the sand. Maybe the sand is just a prophet, kicking discreetly in our hands. Live to shine, shine like sun, sunny day. Day is done for now. Now is the time for another day and another sunshine. Live to shine, shine like sun, sunny day. Day is done. Now, and now is the time for another day and another sun. Well, I'll tell you, for those of you that are joining us from wherever you're joining us around the world, where if you're watching us on the screen right now, you have seen a transition. I mean, I guess this feels like, I mean, you first saw me in quarantine, and then we figured, you know what, this community was powerful enough that we could share live music again, so we decided to figure out a way to live gather with each other. Some of you all in this field were there at some of those first attempts, right? They were intense. We were roped off. It was scary. There were no vaccines left. There were no vaccines invented. But in many ways, over the last 499 nights, you all brought out the best in me, and you brought out the best in each other. Not one person has gotten sick at one of our shows for the entire At this point, hundreds of shows. In these last couple weeks, those of you who've been following online, you've seen us start to play some like kind of somewhat normal looking sort of venues again. But man, this is our first like, oh, this is what a concert used to feel like. We're out in the field, there are hundreds. For our last band show on this run of 500, this feels like an appropriate way to go out, surrounded by so many of y'all amazing people. So, thank I've seen you with other guys, watched you telling lies, seen me with girls before. I know you smile when I let them go. No more games, don't pretend. Maybe less than love, more than friends. And pick and bed, you can be cold. I'll take my keys, you gotta go to who make up sunset. We're going out tonight. You tell the girls, I tell the boys, we're in the town, making some noise. I don't care, the boy, we're going out. Our friends, they always say, making a big mistake. But thinking about your lips makes me pray for mistakes like this. Forget the rules, let's be bad. That is long, and it's all we have. I'll pack a bag, you grab it cold. I'll take my keys, you write a note. We're going down tonight. You tell the girls, I tell the boys, get in the town, making some noise. I don't care, the boy. We're going down tonight. Come on, Karina, let's go now. We've been holding back, we've been sleeping alone, but tonight I ain't taking you out, then I'm gonna take you home. I'm packing a bag, you grab it cold. I'll take my keys, you out and go to make up sunset. We're going out tonight. You tell the girls, I tell the boys, we're getting in the town, making some noise. I don't care, the boy. We're going out tonight. You tell all that girls, we're going out tonight. I don't care. I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take you home. Now we're going out tonight.
else is amazing? Every show that we play these days, there are members of our community who come out and they volunteer and they help us on our little merch table. Man, Bot and Candy, you guys are being so dutiful over there. I'll tell you what, okay? We're gonna just do this, okay? You just gently close that box. You leave that money right on the table. You come over and join us for this show, okay? We'll open up afterwards. All right, people, there's a lot of money on that table. You just make sure, you know. If you need some money, help yourself, really. What's ours is yours. The bot's probably skimming off the top anyways, crunching the numbers. We are at one road's end. You and me, hand in hand. Filled with doubt where we've been. Didn't turn out like we planned. All I is the ground below the stars. All I story written in scars, stepping steady through shifting sand. In the end, that's all I. No map to follow, no friend's advice. My folks don't get in it, ain't their life. It's up to us, this choice we make. Hold together all we break. All I have is the ground below the stars. All I have is a story written in scars, stepping steady through shifting sand. In the end, that's all I. Now, under darkening skies, can't be the man you thought I'd be. I'll keep walking if you walk with me. Walk with me. All I is the ground below the stars. All I is a story written in scars, stepping steady through shifting sand. In the end, that's all I. Stepping steady through shifting sand. That's all I. I'll take it under consideration. You know, one person that we couldn't have not, right? One of the things I believe about this community is every single one of us has something to contribute. Every single one of us. And so many of you have taken, thousands of you watching every single night, looking out for one another, finding ways to contribute to this series, and the creativity through which you've done it is inspiring to me every day. But one of our biggest contributors, obviously, has been Supergirl. We're gonna make her sing with me. Come on, girl.
It's because I don't put my heels down. I'm on my toes the whole show.
So for those of you who have not met Supergirl, she first saw me playing music. She was at a Barnes and Nobles in Shrewsbury. Was it a board? How the hell do you guys? Was that the bot? The problem with telling stories is people sometimes remember the story that you tell. And they call you out when the story shifts over time. It was the Borders books. You're right. It was the Borders books. And she was the only person that was paying attention to me. No, that was good. There was most of the Borders books gigs I had, no one was paying attention to me. This was a good day. And afterwards, she sent. Did you talk to me then, or did you just send me an email afterwards? I can't even remember the story.
I talked to you.
All right. I might have been drunk. I don't know. But that was how many years ago now? 20?
Just now 20. Yeah.
Just now 20 years ago, and she's been with me wherever I've gone. Not always in person, but in spirit. And as soon as the Gathering series started, she was one of the leaders in this community, keeping everybody together. And anyways, I make her sing with me every once in a while. And, this is, I think that this might, you'll know more than me, but it wasn't until the Gathering series you started singing this with us. Is that right? Do you know which one we're going to sing? I didn't communicate that to you, did I? Sorry. I thought we could sing Dynamite together. Yeah? So we start, and usually she knows the song so well that she just sings these beautiful harmonies. But this was like a rockin' song, and we haven't really done that before. And she got up with us one night, and she just nailed it. And so this is it. All right, here we go. And they tell me I've got the eyes of my father, who gave his life fighting for the cause. And they tell me I am destined for the calling, yeah. righteous heir of a parent to the gods. And I'll be the dream, the hero of the people with a legendary mind, knowing all I have to do is shake the ground, and I'm standing for the final round. And I'll step up to the fight, and we're going up in dynamite. And I keep my courage, thinking about my mother, who's hungry as she was 20 years ago. And she lives her life in quiet desperation, yeah. For her there's nowhere I wanted to go. And I know, and I really dream, the hero of the people with the legendary mind, knowing all I have to do is shake the ground, and I'm strapping for the final round. Yeah, I'll step up to the fight, and we're going up in dynamite. And I've got the message wrapped around my body. And success may stay, we'll get it loud and clear. And I walk this street to my final destination, yeah. With the modest rhythm of it pounding in my ears, oh my ears, in my ears. And I feel the dream, hero of the people with the legendary mind, knowing all I have to do is shake the ground, and I'm strapped in for the final round. Yeah, I'll step up to the fight, and we're going up in dynamite. Hey, yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Da-da-da. Ta-da-da-da, ta-ta. Supergirl! Okay. How about another Hero of the Gathering series? Can you give it up for Riley Shea, our sound engineer? Dubbed by one of our gatherers, the Mistress of Sound. We thought she really loves it when we make her get in front of a camera, and so we're gonna make her come up on stage for this next song and play with it. she comes. Riley Shea, everybody. Well, now Buck to Johnny sent a letter to the Globe, said the governor's headed again. Said I saw him twice last week with this girl Monique, while his wife's at the docks getting thin. He's in league with the mob, taking bags at the job, got them all out of charge of the dig. And his drug cartel had shown them well, runs it all through the priests and the pigs. And if you don't print my story, I'll go somewhere else with all of the things I saw. Was it a scandal? Resident is the regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, resident is the regular coup d'etat. Well, now Jean at the Globe, she got Johnny's letter in her mouth, puckered up at the seams. You see, stories is huge, she's the standard for news. She's been living out her hopes and her dreams. She sent her right down a print where a bull named Clint took it into his bloodshot eyes. He called Joe from his news, who pressed in his shoes and sent it out over the wires. Before 4 o'clock that afternoon, everybody had a flapping jaw. 'Cause it's a scandal, resident, regular coup d'etat. Scandal, now a resident at the regular coup d'etat. It's a scandal. Well, now me and the boys, we were down in Sully's drinking after a day in the pits. With news on the screen, our foreman Dean shouts out, "Ain't that the gov in the mix? Hey man, I voted for that lousy SOB." And we all shout a can of clowning in bars and homes all around all the neighboring towns. The same ugly scene went down. We better march on the Capitol, show them we're not as dumb as they think we are. 'Cause it's a scandal, resident is a regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, resident is the regular coup d'etat. It's a scandal. Well, the governor stood in his office, white t-shirt suit, looking down at the scene on the streets. We'd all come out holding signs and shouting, "The governor's a crook in a teeth." Just then a lackey burst in with a desperate grin. He said, "What we gonna do now, chief?" The gov just lit up a pipe, said it'll be all right. We'll call a national party for relief. Man, it took some time to let this all clean up without so much as a hem or a haw. 'Cause it's a scandal, resident, regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, resident, regular coup d'etat. It's a scandal. Well, the next day flew by. The part of thugs arrived with their wrists handcuffed to their files. Said, "We got a 3-pronged attack to get you back on track." And the gov flashed a glistening smile. First we'll slander this Buck to Johnny guy, and you're gonna roll out a tax cut plan that will help your district just so hard that no one will know, but we'll never lose elections again. Meanwhile, you better toe the party line, or by next year's time you'll be community professor of law. It's a scandal, resident, regular coup d'etat. Scandal now, resident, the regular coup d'etat. It's a scandal. Come on, Alex.
this kind of rest days, regular cool daytime. And meanwhile, Joe from the news won a Pulitzer for his house standing working the fields. To keep his reputation clean and to pay off jeans, sign her up to a six-figure deal. Presidential run for the gov, just to prove that the thugs he could show play a big game of ball. And for those that ain't rich, just the back in the pits, overwhelmed by the blur of it all. We'll get $50 back off of next year's taxes, spend it on whiskey and chaw. Meanwhile, the school downtown gets its budget cut down, ripped out with the serpent-like claw. And if you're looking for truth, well, you can set up a booth, peddle anything that cuts like a saw. 'Cause it's a kind of rare day, making the cool day down. Scandal now, where's the day, making the cool day down. Scandal now, where's the day, making the cool day down. The back door is a flim flam, it stinks so that your day say flaws. Scandal.
Riley definitely said ew when I kissed her. I just want you all to know that. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm drunk at the bar. So comes and sits down beside me. Says, boy, don't know how lucky you are. I got a place around the corner. We could go to your car. I could take you to heaven. It don't cost much to see God. But this empty sadness inside us can easily define us. But if we hold each other now, mercy and kindness just may remind us to hold each other now. When you're tired of the table, with your life is at stake, when your heart's lost its rhythm, when you owe more than you make, yeah, when you're holding it together, but your grip is starting to break, come and sit down beside me. We'll drink one to our mistakes. Where there's something inside us and easily define us. But if we hold each other now, mercy, kindness, just remind us to hold each other now. Hold each other. Hold each other. I know when it's raining, just like I know when I'm alone. We stumble through lives, just like I'm about to stumble on home. Gave that woman a 50, told her to take it and go. And I hope where she's headed, it's mercy she knows. Where there's something inside us can easily define us. But if we hold each other now, mercy, kindness, just remind us to hold each other now. Go. Inside us. Hold each other now. Mercy and kindness. Thank you very much. How you gatherers in the field holding up, huh? How they doing online, Riley Shea? Thank you very much. I don't know if I told this story before. Some of you will know, maybe. But that was a song called Hold Each Other Now, and it was one that I wrote with John Oates. And it's a song that we love. We're working on it in the studio right now. But there are a couple characters in that song. And that song actually was based on something that happened to me. I have had the good fortune to get to do, over the course of my life, have some adventures with my dad. And I talked about him taking me up into the mountains when I was a little kid. The White Mountains up in New Hampshire, not far from here, right? That was our spot. When I graduated from high school, he and I went on a trip together. We spent a week down in Venezuela, just traveling, we rented a car, had an adventure around the country. And one night, I mean, it was pretty amazing one night he had gone to bed, and I had become very aware that if I ordered a beer, they'd serve it to me. It's a pretty amazing thing down there. I was down at the bar. Has that been happening all night? Or is that just in my head? Oh, it's real. I went down to the bar. Pops went to sleep. I went down to the bar to have a beer. I felt pretty cool. Felt like a man. And lo and behold, this beautiful woman came up to me and sat down, and in broken English started talking to me. It was like the coolest thing in the world. I was at a bar, I was getting served beer, and a pretty girl was talking to me. After a little while, I realized that girl was working that night.
Oops.
She was working that night. I had never been in a situation like that before. I wasn't even old enough to drink, technically. And I think, I kind of politely said, man, I really appreciate the attention. Thank you so much. And I think I gave her everything that I had in my pockets. And then I went to bed, and 20 years later, she made it into that song that we just played. So I don't know if I ever shared that story. I mean, she was really pretty. Did I mention that? Your daddy told you you would rise above the rundown shadows of this town you love. But bussing tables seems to pay the bills. Your mama's legacy, your test of will. You're the ragtop angel, your amazing grace. Time to gamble on the life we chase. Take a last look at home, turn the key and we're gone. Who cares if Monday there'll be hell to pay? We got miles to go, and we're driving slow. We are taking off today, we're taking off. Always knew that you'd be the girl for me. Know about the places that you one day see. Months and years can flash like fireflies. All you're left with is the passing time. The ragtop angel, your amazing grace. Time to gamble on the life we chase. Take a last look out home, turn the key and make on. Who cares if Monday there'll be hell to pay? We got miles to go out, I will drive it slow. We are taking off today, taking off. And I've had notions about this skeleton town. One lucky storm could blow the whole place down. There you're standing with your eyes like mine. Dare it all to take us down this time. Take a lasso cut on, turn the key and we're gone. Cause in Monday there'll be hell to pay. We got miles to go, and we're driving slow. And we are taking off today, taking off. Na 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 na, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Hey, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Hey, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Hey, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Na na na, hey. Hey, hey. How about Karina on that fiddle, huh? What I thought I'd take cover, still being lover, go undercover, yeah, that was my plan. But it was just a distraction, a knee-jerk reaction, zero infraction, I did it again. Stumble won't come, it escapes me. A breeze in the desert awaits me. I know where I'm meant to go. You may see it flash alight, but it's me on fire tonight. You sound good. I will not hide. I would take my rightful place. My renegade fortune inside in proportion. Don't like the notion that the reckoning's coming. Swallowing up my senses, build my defenses, pay the expenses, and hit the ground running. You know me, in the darkness I hide like a thief. Nowhere meant to be. You see a flashing light. It's me on fire. to tune better for this one.
There's some really beautiful dancers out in the field. We're loving watching you guys dance. Thanks for that.
A tiny star is a big bright sun. In the morning when my day's begun, buy it hot from a corner store, like I did in the day before, alright. Are you listening? Alright. Are you listening? In a small world, I'm a small man. Gonna start with the big plan. Gonna try to make a big sound. Gonna shake up a little ground, alright. Are you listening? Yeah. Alright. Are you listening? Star shine bright on me. I feel big in its company. If you want, I will shine for you. A tiny star big enough for two. I will shine and I will burn so bright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you listening? I will shine. I will burn so bright. So some of you know this, maybe some of you don't, who are just meeting us. Maybe some of you are joining us online for the very first time tonight on $4.99. Maybe most of you that are gonna be watching this are gonna be watching it after it's already happened, and that's okay too. You are welcome at our gatherings anytime. I grew up in a Jewish family. Not a religious Jewish family. We never went to temple. In fact, my father is an outspoken atheist. And what my mom would say is she's a cultural Jew. She believes that there is spirituality in the traditions that we follow. The traditions that have stretched back and kept us sustained over time. Through our darkest times. And there's a richness because the Jews over time have had a lot of dark times. There's this one tradition I was just thinking about over there as Alex was playing. It's weird that I was thinking about it while he was playing this nasty drum solo, but I was. When somebody in the Jewish faith, when somebody dies, there is a process that happens after the funeral. It's called Shiva. Some of you may know what that is. Most of you probably don't know what that is. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be very, very honest. I kind of only partially understand what it is, okay? But basically it is this. After a person dies for some number of nights based on the calendar or whatever, every single night you have the family members of the person you lost, the widow, if that's appropriate, or the family, has to host a group of people in their house to say prayers. It's called Shiva, and a bunch of people, they're called a minyan. The group of people that come to the house, they're called a minyan. They have a minyan that come to the house every single night. And prayers are said, right? You would think 100% the last thing you'd want to do after putting your loved one in the ground. But there's a reason, and this is what fascinates me about Judaism sometimes, about history, about the traditions that all of us have, and we share with each other. We share with each other, right? There's a reason for it. I think, and I don't know, oddly enough, I haven't talked to a ton of Jews about this, but for me, it's always felt like Shiva is Shiva because it keeps us from being alone in our darkest moment. It keeps us from being alone in our darkest moment. There are some things that happen during Shiva too. You're supposed to keep all the windows, all the mirrors in the house closed, right? I never actually asked a religious Jew that, but it just seems to me, oh yeah, that makes sense. Don't look at yourself for a little bit. Try and take yourself, out of the darkness for a little bit. Let the people you love come in. So I was sitting over there in the corner as Alex was playing drums, and I was just thinking to myself, oh, that's what this is. It took me until $4.99 to figure it out. You gatherers out there, you're my minion. You kept me from going into the darkest places. It is $4.99 and we are coming out of the darkness together. And you know what? Maybe this chapter of the Gathering series is coming to an end. But I can't wait for the chapters that we have to come. Come on. Yeah, it feels like the sunrise on a mountain. It feels like the brass band in my lungs. Like the sunrise on a mountain. Feels like a brass band in my lungs. And it feels like the sunrise on a mountain. It feels like the brass band in my lungs. To my gatherers and minions out there, here's to what's to come. All right. Are you listening? All right. Bunch of troublemakers. I want to try something for this last toast that we're going to play with people around us, with the band. And for those of you in the field, I hope you know that after we sign off from our live stream here, we're going to still play some more music with y'all if you feel like that. But, you know, I thought that it might be cool. Just looking over there at this group, and they were holding up this little sign. I thought that it might be cool, maybe if we sang, all of us, that sang to the gatherers online. Gatherers could sing back to us. So, will you all stand on this mound and face the camera, not me. Bring that sign with you. For those of you in the field between here and Riley Shea, if you feel so inclined, you stand in the field, stand down in the field so they can see. There you go, that's it. Down in that field. There you go. Those of you right here, you all can stand where you are and you can face the camera. You can face the camera if you want. You can come up here if you'd like. For those of you who feel like wearing masks, don't feel ashamed about that. I respect you wanting to be careful.
John, can I have that mic? So Adam Ezra is our best friend. Let's bring everybody up in this photo. Let's go. A little quick.
Sally,
What do you want to do?
I want you to go in with my group and let me handle this moment. This is a good moment. I love you. I love you. All right, and for those of you holding up the sign can actually go low and on the hill in front of people. It can go low and on the hill. See, this is how we produce together, people. You don't all have to come up on this hill. You can if you want, but you know what? You can turn around right where you are and you can face that camera, that sound booth, that blue tent right there. That is where our gatherers are watching out there. And Riley, if you want to, during this song, to pan the camera to the right and the left so those that are maybe out of the screen can actually see our gatherers, you're welcome to do that too. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the wind at our backs. May it always blow steady wherever you roam. May it turn when you're ready to carry you home. May it keep you ahead of the rain. Raise up your glasses. Drink to the heavens above. Some say it's a glimpse of God's great design. Some say it's the sign of all things combined. May we look up and always feel wonder. Here is to us, and all that we see is to our hearts. In the air that we breathe, here's to have good company. Here's to the drink that we share. Raise up your glass. Let us drink to this time that we have. These moments pass lightly, won't come again. May our lives all burn bright, right up to the end. May we live them with joyous abandon. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the end Let us drink to the work when the working is through. Let us drink one of me. Let us drink one of me. Let us drink one to those who are with us. Here is to us, all that we see. Here's to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to have good company. Here's to the future. Here's to the past. Let us drink one last song. Let us drink one down fast. Let us drink all that this night is our last. Here's to the drink that we share. Oh, yes, to the drink that we share. You ready? Please stay safe. Keep on looking out for one another. And I'll see you tomorrow.